Have you ever wondered why Jesus, the Messiah, chose to come from the tribe of Judah over any other descendant of Jacob? What is the reason for this particular tribe to have been chosen as the bearer of the messianic promise? When we examine the sacred lineages recorded in the pages of the Bible, we can notice that Jesus' trajectory is outlined from Abraham to David. Having helped a key role in this ancestry, today I would like to share how this choice goes beyond a mere genealogical question, being a detail of great importance in the divine plan. The genealogy of Jesus is traced from Abraham to David, playing a crucial role in understanding his descendants from the tribe of Judah, Abraham recognized as the father of faith. He received God's blessing to become the patriarch of a great nation. He had two outstanding sons, Ishmael, son of Hagar, and Isaac, son of Sarah. The divine promise was specifically directed to the descendants of Isaac. Isaac, in turn, had two children, Esau and Jacob, the blessing of the firstborn, which would normally confer a privileged position. It was transferred from Esau to Jacob in an episode known as the sale of primogeniture. Jacob, later known as Israel, became the ancestor of the 12 tribes of Israel. Among the sons of Jacob assumes a central role in the genealogy of Jesus, the messianic prophecy recorded in the pages of the Old Testament, which describes the prophetic trajectory, beginning with the patriarch Jacob. When he blessed his children before his death, it would be expected that Reuben, Simeon, or Levi, among the sons of Jacob, would take over the tribe and bear the messianic lineage. However, great moral flaws disqualified each of them as privileged heirs. Although Reuben held the position of primogeniture and naturally occupied a leading position, it is recorded in the book of Genesis that while Jacob was living in that region, Reuben engaged in relations with Bilhah, his father's concubine, thus profaning his father's bed with immorality. Genesis 35, verse 22. This action probably resulted in Reuben's disqualification from leadership, in the same way when Dinah, the sister of the three, was physically raped. Simeon and Levi reacted with anger, deceiving all the men of the city and killing them in revenge for their abuse of their sister. This violent reaction drew a stern rebuke from Jacob. Uncontrolled rage and deadly revenge certainly made them unfit for the messianic lineage. The disqualification of the three older brothers is remarkable. In significant contrast to the initial expectation of leadership and continuity of the messianic lineage through them, as depicted in this scenario among the sons of Jacob, although Judas also made several mistakes, he was selected to play a crucial role in the descent of Jesus, the messianic prophecy present in the Old Testament. It begins to unfold in the history of the family of Jacob, when the latter blesses his children before their death. As recorded in Genesis 49, verse 1, Jacob prophesies about Judah, stating that the scepter will not depart from his seed, nor the baton of command from among his descendants, until the coming of Shiloh, to whom the nations will obey. This specific prophecy highlights the royal and ruling lineage emerging from the tribe of Judah, often interpreted as an allusion to the Messiah, indicating an imminent leader and ruler. The link between this prophecy and the choice of Judas as the ancestor of Jesus is clear in Christ's genealogy. In the blessing that Jacob gives to his son Judah, found in Genesis 49, verse 9, there is a passage that stands out. Jacob describes Judas as a lion cub. He comes up from his prey, my son. He bends down, he lies down. If, like a lion, and like a lion, who will wake him up? The lion symbolism attributed to the tribe of Judah is a rich and meaningful metaphor that permeates the historical narrative. The scriptures highlight both the strength and the kingship associated with the lion, which is a symbol of power, courage, and leadership. The tribe of Judah was destined to play a leading role among the tribes of Israel. This metaphor acquires even more depth when we consider how the title of Lion of the tribe of Judah is subsequently attributed to Jesus Christ within the messianic context of the Gospels. In Revelation in chapter 5, verse 5, John recounts a vision in which a lion of the tribe of Judah, who is the root of David, is declared victorious. This is clearly a reference to Jesus, highlighting his royalty and ability to overcome all challenges throughout biblical history. By analyzing this choice, the light of theology, we realize a unique harmony between divine characteristics and divine purposes. When Jacob prophesied about Judah in Genesis, he not only highlighted the leadership and scepter that would be passed on in his lineage, but also mentioned that the peoples would follow him, and this implied a unique authority and a messianic role assigned to the tribe. The theology underlying this choice can be understood in light of Judas's fidelity and its importance in fulfilling divine promises. A prominent descendant of Judah, he was a revered king, and God made an eternal covenant with him, promising that his throne would be established forever. This covenant points to a messianic king who would arise from the lineage of David. Moreover, the very meaning of the name Judas, which denotes praise or worship of God, suggests a special connection with the recognition of divine sovereignty. Throughout its history, the tribe of Judah has shown loyalty and worship of God, which makes it significant when we consider the selection of the Messiah. When we compare Judah with the other tribes of Jacob, we notice a clear distinction and a specific purpose in the theological choice that designated him as the messianic lineage. Each of the 12 tribes has its own unique characteristics and contributions to the historical narrative of the Israeli people. However, the designation of Judas to the messianic role, it reflects profound and significant theological reasons. Other tribes, such as Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and others, played important roles in different contexts. For example, Levi was chosen to be a priest, and the tribe of Joseph, represented by Ephraim and Manasseh, was also blessed with distinction. Each tribe, in a unique way, contributed to the formation and identity of the people of Israel. However, the theological reasons that resulted in Judas's choice go beyond his individual characteristics. When the patriarch Jacob pronounced his last blessings on his children, he highlighted specific aspects of Judah that would qualify him for a unique role in the history of redemption. In Genesis 49, Jacob prophesied about Judah, depicting him as a lion, symbolizing power, leadership, and kingship. Such attributes were fundamental to the fulfillment of the messianic mission that would be accomplished through his lineage as we thoroughly analyze the text. In the biblical narratives, we observe subtle details and decisions that show how everything was carefully planned in divine designs in preparation for the lineage that would culminate in Jesus. Joseph's story is a moving narrative that vividly illustrates the divine intervention in choosing the tribe of Judah to play a crucial role in the messianic lineage. Joseph's story begins with his father Jacob's preference for him, symbolized by the gift of a colorful robe. This display of affection arouses jealousy among Joseph's brothers, leading them to conspire against him and even consider his murder. However, Judas's decision to propose the sale of Joseph instead of killing him marks a pivotal point in biblical history, with profound implications for the future of Judas and the realization of the divine plan. In Genesis 37, verses 26 and 27, we read, as Judah says to his brothers, "And prophet, if we kill our brother and hide his blood, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let our hand not be against him. For he is our brother, our own flesh, and so his brothers have heard him." This choice not only immediately saved Joseph's life, but also had wider and unexpected consequences, resulting in his being sold as a slave. Transported to Egypt, Joseph ends up in a position of influence, all for a divine reason. This position proved crucial to ensuring survival in future famines. This not only saves Joseph, but also prepares the ground for the future encounter with his brothers. Moreover, Judas's decision not to kill Joseph, rather than to choose to sell himself, has profound theological implications. God used this event to shape the course of history, making Judah, without his knowledge, an essential part of God's plan to preserve the lineage of Jacob. The subsequent meeting between Joseph and his brothers not only symbolized reconciliation and forgiveness, but also consolidated Judah's pivotal role in history. However, Judas hesitated to follow this tradition, probably fearing for Chila's life, considering the circumstances of the deaths of his other children. Realizing that his own luck was at stake, Itamar acted wisely. Noting that Judas was hesitant to fulfill her promise to give Chela as her husband, she adopted a clever strategy by disguising herself as a prostitute and approaching Judas, who, without recognizing her, ended up engaging with her. Since Judah had no money at that time, Tamar asked for something as security until the payment was made. Then he gave you his stamps, rope, and stick. Later, when it became clear that Itamar was pregnant, she confronted Judas. These are questionable human choices to achieve goals, but divine providence intervened to ensure that the messianic lineage continued through Judah, even against his will. This opened the way for the coming of the Savior. Besides, it's worth remembering Ruth's story. A moving narrative that takes place in Bethlehem during a period of famine in Israel. Ruth, a Moabite woman, and her mother-in-law Naomi returned to Bethlehem after their husbands died, showing a remarkable commitment. Ruth chose to stay with Naomi and embrace her faith, deciding to work in the fields during the harvest, which caught the attention of Boaz, a close relative. Boaz, also of the seed of Judah and a righteous and generous man, showed compassion for Ruth and instructed his servants to treat her well, allowing her to collect more food. The crucial moment comes when Naomi advises Ruth to follow the Old Testament traditions of redemption and levirate marriage. These traditions allow a close relative to redeem the property and marry the widow of a deceased relative, thus preserving the family legacy. In this way, Boaz assumes the role of redeemer. Follow the established law. The subsequent marriage between Boaz and Ruth is interpreted as a manifestation of divine providence. This particular choice in the lineage of Judah is of great importance, especially in the light of the messianic prophecies and theological relevance of this tribe. Even in the face of the difficulties after the death of her husbands, Ruth could have chosen to follow her own path, but God's plans were already drawn. Ruth's story vividly illustrates how God directed seemingly ordinary events to fulfill his greater purposes, preparing the way for the coming of the Messiah. Boaz and Ruth's relationship has not only blessed their lives, but it also contributed to the divine plan of redemption and reconciliation. In addition, it is important to remember the messianic promise given to David, highlighting the importance of the tribe of Judah. When we examine the genealogical records in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, we can observe the lineage of Jesus traced back to David and consequently to Judah. This genealogical trait confirms the fulfillment of the messianic prophecy in Jesus, descendants of the tribe of Judah, strengthening our understanding of God's promise. Although it is crucial to recognize the culminating lineage of Judah and Jesus Christ, we cannot forget the unconditional covenant that God made with David after David's death. His son Solomon succeeded to the throne of Israel, bringing the kingdom to a period of great prosperity. But after Solomon died, the kingdom of Israel was divided into two, the north and the south, represented respectively by Israel and Judah. Throughout the generations, Judah maintained its dynastic lineage even in the face of challenges and periods of reign, both good and bad. This persistent lineage of Judah, despite the Assyrian invasion and exile, demonstrates the resilience of this tribe and its importance in history. Judas emerged as a remnant, a little light that preserves the flame of divine leadership. This unfolding, as prophesied, reinforced that the scepter of leadership was truly in the tribe of Judah. By choosing Judas, God not only fulfilled the prophecy, but also laid a solid foundation for Jesus' mission on earth. The lineage of Judah represents the continuity of the promise of a Redeemer. And the fulfillment of these prophecies in Jesus Christ shows the immensity of divine love and wisdom. As we contemplate Judah's choice, we are led to reflect on the grandeur of the divine plan and to recognize God's sovereignty in the journey of redemption. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have come here, please leave your likes. Subscribe to the channel and select one of the 2 videos that will appear on the screen to continue following us. We thank you and may God bless you. See you soon.